So 1 year ago, the art club in Neustadt asked me to do a little exhibition of my instruments. And the plan was to do kind of a retrospective exhibition. My first instruments should be shown there, and new instruments, and also future concepts. And 1 year later, today we have June 2014, we realized the exhibition here. We have over 55 instruments in 5 rooms. And yeah, I want to show you around the exhibition. Join me. So the first instrument I made ever in my life is this one. And I was 7 years old, and this was a school project. And actually it's not a guitar, it's a rhythm instrument. Like you see on the picture here, it was my first gig with my grandfather. So you stomp it and you have, what's the English word, a cooking spoon, and you drum on this one. It's a local rhythm instrument. This was the first bass I started to work on. It's an old Yamaha RB200 or something like this. And I didn't like the standard look, so I started to cut away wood and started to sand and install some funky hardware like this strap pin here, or a stainless steel fingerboard fretless. And yeah, so these were my first experiments. And after a while I wanted to know, I started to repair instruments, basses, guitars, and I wanted to know, can I produce a bass? Because I was a bass player in these days. I designed 2 instruments, two 4-string basses, a fretted and a fretless. And I did not know. I worked on these around maybe 1.5, 2 years. And I did not know, is it a good product or is it a bad product? So I went to the German Guitar and Bass magazine and asked the guys there, how do you like the instruments? And they wrote it in the article, which I have printed here. And yeah, so I was really proud that they thought they are not my first ones. Anyways, the next we have here is my first bass with a tremolo system I invented. It has high-speed ball bearings and actually no friction, so you don't have any scratching when you use it. Another instrument in this room is one of my first seal-shaped bodies. It's a fretless 5 with a nice snakewood fingerboard. And on the other side there are also some really old instruments. This is one of my first 10. It's a solid soprano body 4-string. This is my first unofficial order I made in the year 96. It's a solid body made out of amaranth. This is my first electric guitar I made for a friend in the year 98. And this actually is my first official real order. And actually it was an exchange for a new chimney my parents got. And I made the chimney maker this instrument, and my parents got a new chimney, so I didn't make any money on it actually. That's one of my own instruments. It's a fretless paduk with custom engraved fret lines. Yeah. Let's go to the next room. Here is a collection of guitars. All Princess Isabellas. I started in 2009 to produce these and to start selling them. This was actually the basic model, the original Princess Isabella baritone, limited edition of 50 pieces. Here we have a blue dragon with nice fabric finish, which is limited to 25 pieces. And these are one of a kind Shooterella, the angry bird, painted by my sister, Shooterella. This is the Lotus, painted by Simone Rutz, German artist. This is the Autumn Falls, also painted by Shooterella. And this is an old prototype with a hand-cast pickguard. On the other side, we have some royal family instruments. They are from 2005 to 2007. Flora Sapirus with yellow sapphires as toe knobs and a 24 karat gold floral ornament. This is a fretless, which also I own. It's a solid piece of Amboina burl covered with 24 karat antique gold. And here we have two koras, and in the middle the first painted base of the Schuderella series. Yeah, what else do we have here? Two very nice Roya 5 strings, flamed maple, and my first fabric covered bass I ever made in my life. It was also a nice adventure to try to put a fabric on it. In the next room I have a few concepts. This is one of my favorites. It's the Seafire fretless 5-string and the Sting drum and bass concept. That was also a really nice project. It's actually made for electronic drum and bass music where you really need deep frequencies, and we have a Les Paul guitar scale and the bass is tuned from A to C, and we have a lot of integrated synthesizer, octaver and stuff like this. So you really get the deep sounds out of it. On the other side, we have two Jupiters, an old copper finished one with a fossil inlay, and this is one of the 10 Eye of Horuses. This was made for Phil Lesh, bass player of the Grateful Dead. So on this side we have some new R8 basses, one with the ocean magma surface, and this is my R8 single cut concept. We don't have any tuners on the front, just fingerboard, body and head. That's a really futuristic instrument for my taste. I really like these ones and I like to build them. Here we have an R8 with a picture finish, standard R8 with Yves Klein ultramarine blue, and a very simple R8 4-string. So let's go in the last room. So in this room we have some exotic instruments, and this was a prototype. I tried or I experimented with plastics as body material, and this is a special plastic which I called Galpera, and we covered it with 24 karat gold in a liquid gold bath, which was a very special project. And here we have actually the opposite. I was in Venice one day and I was so inspired by these old houses and the damaged houses, doors, whatever, so I call this finish the Venice door finish. Here we have my first Raptor, and this one is actually owned by the German Museum for Technical Arts, and this was my first instrument with laser pickups. I experimented in these days. Here we have also an experiment. It's an old oak wood. A friend of mine, she owns a winery, and she used to use this oak wood for barrels, and I got some garbage wood and I made this instrument out of it. We have a documentary movie about it. I think it's somewhere at YouTube. It's called the Bog Oak Faith. This is a very nice Raptor with an extremely rare one-piece quilted maple solid body, so the whole body is made out of this wood. Here we have a seal with a 30-inch scale, which is the longest scale I have ever built. And the last instrument of the exhibition is also a custom-made one. It's an Ocon Raptor mixture with an airbrush and probably some LEDs, and they are removed because of security, I think so. Yeah, I hope you had some fun going with me to the exhibition, and check out my website at ritter-instruments.com.